Hello, Palians! It's official. The downtime has now begun, which means that we are one step closer to the Elderwood launch. If you're currently thinking, what am I going to do with my next 26 hours, then do not worry because we have the Elderwood Bible to keep us company, aka the patch notes. So today I'm going to dive through everything that is in the patch notes, share some thoughts and opinions, and also my reaction to it. I hope you enjoy this video and I hope you're excited. Please let me know in the comments what your most favorite thing is about the patch notes and what you're most looking forward to for launch tomorrow. Don't forget to like and also subscribe for more Palia content, but let's get into this. Okay, here we are. Right, I'm sorry, I'm very excited. Okay, so we're on the patch notes page. First of all, we have the little header picture. We've kind of seen this picture before, I think, or this kind of area. The whole bridge is where it comes in on the trailer. But either way, it looks magical. You really get to see all of the tree trunks and the wisteria coming down. Oh, the purple as well, absolutely gorgeous. So let's keep scrolling and see what else is here. So then we have this at a glance page. I'm not going to kind of delve into this too much because just skimming my eyes over this, it looks like they're going to expand on more of it deeper into the patch notes, but it does just give us an overview. Welcome to the Elderwood. Step into an ancient overgrown forest teeming with magic in the Elderwood expansion. We obviously know this is going to be Palia's biggest update to date, and then it goes on about kind of giving us an overview as to what to expect, which is very exciting. But I'm going to keep scrolling and see what more there is to find here. So again, there is a table of contents if you want to quickly really jump to something, like if maybe the bug fixes are what you want to know. I'm sure, who wants to know about bug fixes when there's all this new content? Anyway, so new features and updates, this is what we are here for. And we have Elderwood Essentials. The Elderwood expansion includes an entirely new adventure zone, our first since we launched, which contains a whole new map filled with new content for every skill in the game, new gameplay systems for players to experience, and another chapter in our main story, which I think everyone knows we really need that. At the highest level, the update brings the following changes to the game: a new map, the Elderwood, a lush overgrown forest seeping with magic, a new chapter of our main story, a new villager joining the cast of Palia, the introduction of infected essence, a major focus of the gathering experience in the Elderwood. I'm very excited for the essence. I think that this could really play a part in like our exploration and also perhaps in like our crafting as well. The search for artifacts and ability to craft relics, a new equipment type that provides buffs not only to yourself but to your party. Again, artifacts and relics is something that I'm very excited for. It feels like it's going to be a little bit of a different take on what kind of we had with the bundles, and also it really encourages exploration, which hopefully it does anyway, which I'm very excited for. There is going to be new gatherables, including a new wood type and forage you can knock down. I don't know if that's like badly worded or if that's just me, but I'm not sure what that means. Does that mean like stuff we can collect or something that we can kind of knock down? We'll have to wait and see on that one. There is going to be changes to mining. Oh, this could be a huge shakeup here. So this is making Palium a more abundant resource and introduces dedicated mining nodes for gold and silver. Okay, that is going to be huge. So Palium, as it stands, is quite a rare resource. Obviously, it has to contend with everything in Bahari, but also the fact that they are introducing dedicated mining nodes for gold and silver. These are really hard to come by. The drop rates for them is not good, and I think this is a very smart move because particularly things like silver, you do require them for making mirrors in furniture, so it's definitely going to be needed. There is new huntable creatures. We already did see a look at these, and obviously that comes with plushies as well, which is very exciting. There is new insects, including a frog-like critter called the rock copper. There is new fish, including some ferocious sharks. We did again see a snapshot of this in the trailer, and it is a big boy. New garden crops will be found within the Elderwood. That's very interesting wording, so we're going to obviously have to find them and then bring them back to our plots and grow them. Doesn't say what they are there yet though. Are they beans? Are they grapes? Who knows? A new set of cooking recipes that make use of everything in the Elderwood. That's interesting as well. I feel like maybe one of them will be like high value, perhaps. That would be good if it is, and then we can have whole brand new cooking parties. Our largest single patch of decor, including multiple new furniture sets, multiple. I love the fact that it said multiple. I kind of had a feeling that not all of the items we have seen with the trailer did actually form part of the same set, so it's pretty cool that they have specifically said multiple. The introduction of courier pets to the game, that's very intriguing. And last but definitely not least, decor limits have been increased on the housing plots from 3,000 to 3,500. Okay, so I think there was some talk of this happening. I'm glad we have confirmation of this. I know a lot of people have been asking for this to be upped, and although 500 may not sound like a lot, I think it actually is when it comes to decorating. And then it does also say at the bottom here, to help players navigate the range of experiences in the Elderwood, we've created a central page in the player menu to be your one-stop shop for what you can accomplish in the Elderwood. I like that. I like that a lot. I worry that everything would feel a little bit overwhelming, but the fact that they've kind of factored that in is good. Okay, and then we're going to scroll down a little bit more here. So it says, welcome to the Elderwood. The Elderwood is a lush overgrown forest. Yep, we knew that. Where a different sub-race of Majari, the Umbra, once inhabited. All players will immediately gain access to the Elderwood, but we highly recommend having fine tools. So if you haven't upgraded your tools, you might have to do that as soon as you get in. And then it also says about completing the temple's quest line up through rooted in place before diving too far into the map. So if you haven't done that, maybe make sure that you do that, but it is still saying that you can go in and explore it. You just might not be able to get too far into it. The entrance to the Elderwood is found in the northern part of Bahari between Tamala's house and the housing plot gate. And then this looks like what we're going to see when we go into the game. So you can see that there's a little crack now in the door, which is cool. And then you can see the purple seeping through, which is awesome. There's also some purple plants here. I don't think they were in the game originally. I will have to kind of fact check that. They might have been, but I'm not sure they were. They look very purple anyway. They're standing out more right now. And then it says here, new to the Elderwood, a requirement to find each of the stables in order to unlock travel to those locations. Once you have found the Elderwood Central Stables, you will be able to use stables throughout the world to travel directly to the Elderwood. As a reward for finding all of the Elderwood stable locations, Nayo will give you a recipe to craft your very own stable sign at your housing plot. We did kind of already know about this. If you weren't having spoilers, then you might not have, but this is a huge game changer. Honestly, fast travel in the game is something that they needed to fix, and I'm very glad that they have, because often you were traipsing halfway across the map before you could find a new board. So it's really nice that this is now going to be accessible from your housing plot and make it easier, fingers crossed. And then we have a little section on quests and villager updates. So Elderwood brings with it a new chapter for our main story, a whole batch of side quests, and a brand new villager to meet. I like the fact that they've added in about the side quests as well. So that's good. We're not just going to get main story quests, we're also going to get side quests. For those of you that love quests, hopefully that will satisfy your need for questing. Our villagers will also see some changes to their schedule now that Elderwood has opened. We'll let you discover exactly what those changes are as you progress through the expansion. That's exciting. So that sounds like the villagers are actually going to head into the Elderwood and interact with that area. I definitely think Tamala's going to be there, 100%. And then it goes on to give us a bit more about the main story. Players that are caught up with our main story will see things kick off immediately when they log in with our Elderwood opening cinematic. Okay, I wasn't expecting that. Some of the new systems in Elderwood do require main story progression, so we recommend all players get caught up, and then it does give you a list there of the specific quests that they say. It does also say, note, players do not need to complete the Night Sky bundles to engage with the Elderwood main story quests, so that if you're wondering about that, don't worry about that. And then as the main story progresses in Elderwood, players will unlock different elements of Elderwood's gameplay, which we'll cover below. Wow, Okay, and then it talks about that there's a guide and a map and an introduction to various new mechanics. My gosh, how long is this patch notes? I've just looked over this so much. Okay, right. Tamala's Potion Shop. That's something that we knew was going to be coming. Again, I think some of us had our ideas about that. And it says here, Tamala is finally opening her shop. Once you progress through and complete the Nature of Shadows quest, you'll be able to purchase unique items such as anti-slime potion and one of our new garden crops. I have my money on that being pumpkins. I would put money on that. For players who want to travel back home more easily once you've completed the quest Where the Hearth Is, Tamala will also sell you a hearth potion, which will let you travel home at any point. Yes! Yes, yes, yes. I said ages ago, I wanted whisk potions in the game. I know this isn't specifically a wish potion that is going to let you travel to anywhere you want, but the fact that you can return home is a huge game changer. You're not just going to be waiting 10 minutes to hit that return to your plot button, which is great. And then it also goes on to say here, Sabura's shop. This is something that was not on my list. This is very interesting. So once you've completed the Something Wicked quest, so it looks like these are going to be unlocked through questing, which is nice. Sabura will allow you to purchase some grab bags of items from the Elderwood. These are perfect options if you want to finish your Elderwood collection, but maybe don't enjoy a given skill. I don't know what that means. But I mean, it's a way to get resources by the sounds of it, which is always good. And then meet Ulfi. So this is the new villager that is going to be joining the cast. And this is a young Umbran boy who's been living in the Elderwood for a while. The Umbrans are a different subrace of Majari, which we've already covered. And they also have a favorable view on the use of flow, which is something that's going to be important by the sounds of it. And then it also says here, while Ulfi is excited to meet all of you, please don't come for me on the pronunciation, I've just realized how bad it probably sounds. He takes his time in order to get to know a new friend. Your friendship with him will be able to grow in future patches. So I think essentially what that is saying is there isn't going to be any friendship quests in this update. So we will be able to see him, we will be able to meet him, but to actually unlock the friendship quest, that's going to come in future updates, which is nice. It's something to look forward to in the future. And then it says here about the world updates. Various villagers have new daily dialogues that will refer to the Elderwood. All materials found in the Elderwood have been added to the weekly wants. Items from the Elderwood typically are tier 3 and tier 4 weekly wants. Villagers will accept new materials from the Elderwood as gifts, and various villager schedules have been updated to include the Elderwood. So basically, they've really kind of merged everything in together. So if you are thinking about keeping stuff from the Elderwood, definitely do, because you might want it for quests and gifting in the future. So we're on to artifacts and discoverables. So one of the core goals with the adventure zone is to provide a feeling of surprise and delight around every corner. So they're really kind of hammering home with the exploration for this one. And here we will be able to find obviously the infected substance, but also decor, Umbran shrines, rummage piles, and treasure chests, which is very exciting. So we have a little overview of the infected essence, and we can see here in this little graphic, which as you can see, it's covering the creatures, but it's also in the water. So then maybe that's the fish bubbles and around the trees. So it's really getting everywhere. And it says that players will find various gathering items infected by an unknown magical essence. Collecting this essence requires unique materials and equipment specific to the Elderwood. So by the sounds of it, we're not just going to be able to go in with our fine tools and be able to gather whatever we want here. So as this is a part of the major update, it's a new gathering experience, which is what they're saying here. And we'll be able to acquire new recipes and gameplay benefits from a variety of sources. Interesting. So yeah, this infected essence is really going to play a big part of our gameplay going forward in the Elderwood. And then we have the Elderwood decor set. So furniture fans, listen up. This is the first furniture set, and this is found entirely through exploration. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go around the world, you're gonna find bits of furniture that has been left behind by the Umbrans by the sound of it. And then when you interact with one of these pieces, you'll meet Binny, who is a ravenous little pixie. I hope I said that right, because it's like pixie, but it's spelled differently, who would like some of that infected essence that's been showing up. So once you provide Binny with the appropriate amount of essence, you will then get the recipe to craft it. That's pretty cool. I like that mechanic. I really like the way that that works. I think that's a really fun take on unlocking recipes as opposed to just going to a shop and then kind of unlocking them that way. The full list of furniture from this set is included in the furniture making and decor section below. Okay, so we'll see that soon. The Umbran shrines are hidden throughout the map and they require player to offer a unique sacred flower which can be acquired from following sources, hidden throughout the Elderwood, from various main story guide and discovery quests, purchased from Tamala's store, and hunting waveback ogupos and pixie schmoles. Similar to the Elderwood Decor set, you can find an Umbran shrine. It will remain marked on your map until you complete the offering. That's good, so you can go back to it. Okay, and then we have a little picture of what this looks like. This is very cute. That's very cute. I like the look of that. As a reward for offering a sacred flower, players can receive artifacts and various resource packs filled with Elderwood materials. So again, they're giving us rewards for like materials and things, which is nice. We've not seen that in the game before, so that's a nice thing to do. If you don't want to spend hours grinding, it looks like they've kind of picked onto that and they know that players want these resource packs, so that's good. And then we have about the rummage piles. Okay, each real world day players can find 2 rummage piles, so not 1 but 2, hidden in the Elderwoods. These locations are the same for every player each day. In order to gain the rewards, players will need to use their hoe to clear the dirt bag before grabbing the items. So it doesn't tell us what is going to be within the rummage piles. That's very interesting. I kind of feel like maybe there might be a furniture set behind these, but it wasn't players' favorite thing in the game to have furniture and recipes locked behind the rummage piles. So whether the devs have listened to the players about that, I'm not sure. We'll have to wait and see. And then there is something about treasure chests. So there are going to be new treasure chests here. This is a mechanic that we've seen before. It feels like forever ago since I found a treasure chest on the map. So it will be nice. And this one does actually specify that there'll be new recipes in this one, which is interesting. Okay, and then we're on to the artifacts and relics. So this does have a little bit of dialogue between 2 of the characters, Kalari and Eloisa. I'm not going to read that out, but if you want to kind of delve into the lore, then go ahead and read the full patch notes. And then we're on to artifacts. So artifacts are going to be another big way of us how we play the game. And it says here that they are found primarily through Umbran shrines and rummage piles, and they can also be traded with other players at the Elderwood Central Stables. If you happen to find a piece you already have, try offering up to trade with another player in order to complete a set. So it is really going to be like finding little kind of segments and then putting them together and then like unlocking them. The fact that you can trade with other players is going to be really good, I think, because that means that hopefully it will speed up trying to get your hands on them. And then relics here, this is what it says about the relics. Relics are a new piece of equipment that provide various buffs to you and your party. Relics can be leveled up to provide you and your party stronger buffs. Each player in your party can equip a unique relic. Okay, and then it can share the benefits with your other party members. And then here we have all of the relics that are available. So we have one to buff essence looted, and they all come in different stages there, a small, medium, and a large. And then we have a massive one as well. And then the more interesting ones, I think, will allow you to track infected forage, and then you can track infected forage in insects and fish. So they all do come in different tiers, which is cool. So I like the fact that this one allows you to track infected forage and all of the kind of bugs and critters and huntable creatures. And then there is one here which says allows you to directly interact with infected forage without the use of special equipment or potion. Ooh, so that one might come in handy as well. Again, there's 4 tiers of that one. And then the last one is boost the tier of other relics equipped by your party members. And that one's there. So really kind of if you're in a party, by the looks of things, you're going to want to have someone to have one of them. And then someone will definitely want to have the boost ability as well. So yeah, you can really kind of tally them up. And then we have a little bit of a snapshot about the relic, which is cool. And then it does also say in order to acquire relics, you'll need to complete artifacts. By completing an artifact, you'll earn Eloisa fun bucks. Not the fun bucks, which can be exchanged for necessary schematics to craft a relic via the register near where you donate the artifacts. Okay, interesting. Right, and then relics can be crafted in the Elderwood stables near the waterfall. And to craft and upgrade relics, you'll need a few unique items. So these things are going to be kind of things that we're going to find or buy as well. And these seem to be rune stones, which is pretty cool. And this picture here, this looks like is going to be the crafting area, which is pretty kind of magical if you do say so. If I do say so myself. And then it goes down. Oh, interesting. There's going to be a new nameplate. So for players who really want to show off their prowess, you can unlock a unique nameplate by leveling up every relic to tier 5. Wow. Okay, that is something that is going to be way out in the future. Definitely not going to be a day one thing. But that's very exciting as well. Okay, and then we have another section on mining. Mining, they said, was going to be a huge kind of game changer here. And as part of the Elderwood's release, we're making some changes to the material acquisition. As they said, Palium will... Oh, whoa. No, they didn't say this before. Palium is now exclusively found in the Elderwood and is as abundant in the Elderwood as iron is in Bahari. Okay, that is a huge thing. They did say that they were going to make it more abundant. Didn't realize it was just going to be kind of dedicated to the Elderwood. That's very interesting. It kind of makes sense. I kind of like this change. I think it will be nice to just be able to go to Bahari for iron, go to Kilima if you need copper, and so forth. So that's nice. And then there is a new type of stone as well called white stone, and this is an uncommon drop from stone nodes within the Elderwood. This one can be refined at the smelter to create white stone slabs. Obviously, that's going to be used in some of the furniture recipes, I'm sure. You can also buy it at Hodari's mining store as well. I nearly said Hodaddy, I had to stop myself. And there is also a new type of ore. So in addition to Palium being dedicated to the Elderwood, obviously there's dedicated gold and silver ores now as well. There is platinum as well. And this can be found in rare dedicated nodes across Elderwood. This can be refined into platinum bars at the smelter. The recipe for platinum bars can be purchased for 5,000 gold at Hodari's mining store once you are mining level 10. Okay. And then there is a bit more about the silver nodes and the gold nodes. So silver nodes will now be found rarely across Kilima village, and gold nodes will be found rarely across Bahari. That's interesting. And they will also drop the same star stones as copper nodes for the silver ones, and the gold ones will drop the same as iron nodes, which makes sense. Lastly, the ore compass has been updated to work with all of the above changes and will now track... So it will track more. So it will track silver, gold, and platinum nodes, and it will also track large size... Oh, I don't know about the large size stone. Okay, interesting. White stone, copper, iron, and Palium. Okay, so I'm on board for all of that, but I do not need large size stone popping up for me personally. Let me know what you feel about that one. Okay, so we're on to foraging next, and there is a little bit thing here from Shane, and then it goes on about the Elderwood. We are introducing a wide variety of new gatherables, types, and materials. Various items found across the Elderwood are used for crafting the new decor sets or used in various cooking dishes. So they did say that there was a new type of wood. This is going to be the ancient wood that can be found throughout the Elderwood from ancient trees. Ancient trees will sometimes drop a seed that players can plant on their home pot. This is going to be kind of what we see already with the tree mechanics. Rarely ancient wood will drop a high value ancient amber. So again, as like we've seen previously, there is also going to be Elderwood orchids, lotuses, elderflower. Okay, the elderflower is an epic flower that is hard to find. There is also going to be new mushrooms. So the staircase mushroom, and it says here, when foraging a staircase mushroom, players will have a chance to learn the recipe to muskin. A leather-like material can be crafted at the fabric loom from any mushroom. Interesting. There are floatfish mushrooms, elderclam mushrooms, and it says about the elderclam mushrooms, these can be opened to acquire elderclam mushroom meat and rarely a black pearl. Oh my god, black pearls, that's so cool. Okay, and it also said the Elderwood mushroom meat can be used in any cooking dish recipe that requires any red meat. So essentially, this is your vegan substitute or your vegetarian substitute if you don't want to cook with meat. There are also flotatoes. Oh my gosh, please tell me that they are purple potatoes. There are butterfly beans. Occasionally, players will acquire a butterfly bean seed when foraging that can be planted in the player's garden. Are these the purple crops that we saw in the pictures? Were they beans and not grapes? interesting. The dowsing rod will also track new rare, epic, and legendary forage found within the Elderwood, and there are 2 accomplishments for collecting all forageables within the Elderwood, so that is quite a lot. The foraging does not stop there though, as they're additionally introducing shootable forage. Whoa. Sorry, I just had to read that again. They're introducing shootable forage into the game. On some trees in Bahari Bay and the Elderwood, players will see items hanging from the trees. Players can use an arrow to shoot down the forage or chop the tree to get the item. Honey! Finally, we're getting honey. Honey can be gathered from beehives on pine trees in Bahari Bay and the Elderwoods, and copper nuts can be found in ancient trees in the Elderwoods. That's so cool. I love that. That is such a fun addition and such a fun way to kind of forage. I wonder how rare they're going to be. I'm very excited for that. Okay, and then we're on to creatures. As players explore the Elderwood, they'll come across a new variety to hunt. Okay, and we did know about these. So this is the Ogapoo, and this one has the ability to hit you back, but in a kind of cozy way. So it spits sticky slime at you, which will slow your ability to move around the map. It does say they will require quite a number of arrows to take down, and they recommend fine arrows and a party. It says here there are 3 types: the regular, the emerald, and the waveback. The hunter's horn will track the waveback, suggesting that that is obviously the rarest one. Players can acquire Ogapoo meat and Ogapoo skin from all types of Ogapoo, and the Ogapoo meat can be used as a fish replacement in dishes that allow fish. That could be potentially a game changer, because obviously very rare fish can be used in certain recipes, so if that can be used as a substitute, that's going to be huge. On occasion, the player may also acquire an Ogapoo scale, an emerald Ogapoo scale, or waveback Ogapoo scale. Why is that so hard to say now? A waveback Ogapoo scale. For plushie collectors, each Ogapoo type has an associated rare plush, yay, and new hunting accomplishments have been added for the Ogapoo. The slimed accomplishment will award the Ogapoo mounted trophy. Nice, so we're getting new accomplishments as well. That is really nice to see. And now we're onto the Schmoll, which is another one that we knew about, and this one is kind of being inspired by like whack-a-mole. So these players are going to kind of pop their heads up, and then you're going to have to kind of shoot at them. And it also said this will be good for hunting and parties, so players can split up and kind of manage a few different holes when you see them. It says again there are 3 different types of Schmoll: the regular, elder, and the pixie Schmoll, and the hunter's horn will track the pixie ones. Schmolls primarily drop different types of mushrooms found in the Elderwood. That's interesting. So if you're wondering or wanting another way to get hold of those mushrooms, here you go. They may also drop the Schmoll spore, the elder Schmoll spore, or the pixie Schmoll spore. And again, I'm guessing those are the red drops that you will be able to sell on. Each Schmoll also has an associated rare plush, like we could have guessed, and there is also a whack-a-mole. No, there is also a whack-a-schmoll accomplishment. Get it right, Emma. Okay, so those are the new creatures. Those are kind of the overview that we've got. The Schmoll is definitely very interesting. I'm very kind of interested to see how that works in reality. Next up, we also have some global balance changes to the creatures. So they've got feedback that our hunting creatures get spooked too easily, and they're making some changes to make them easier to sneak up on. So they've reduced the angle at which creatures could spot you. They will now have more tunnel vision, which is kind of good. They've slightly reduced the range at which loud sounds will cause the creatures to flee. Again, that's good. Lethargy arrows have been adjusted, so the slow effect duration has been increased. There is a slight decrease on the effect slow has on all creatures and on the damage that arrow does. Damn it, I like using the slow down arrows. The tier 3 creatures no longer remove the slow effect when using their own abilities, and these changes should give a clearer identity to the lethargy arrow when better supporting the new creatures in Elderwood. They have also slightly reduced the sprint speed of all Cernic and slightly reduced the Elder Cernic health, which is nice to see as well. So that's creatures. Let's move on to insect catching. So across the Elderwood, players will find a range of new new insects to collect, including the pixie and the rock hopper. The buzzy jars will work in this area and they'll track the rare, epic, and legendary insects. There are 3 new accomplishments that have been added as well. Here are the little froggy things. So these are the rock hoppers. And as you can see, there are 3 different types of rock hoppers. So there is the grumpy granite, the flame horned rock hopper, and also the will-o-wisp one. So that's pretty cool. And then we also have some butterflies. So instead of butterflies, we have butterflies, maybe because they are found in the caves. So the blushing butterfly, it says it spends most of its time flitting amongst bioluminescent foliage in the Elderwood caves. There is the sunburst butterfly and also the night shadow one. That one only comes out at night, and the sunburst makes sense, it only comes out in the day. There is also a dragger beetle, I have no idea if I said that right, a blood beetle, and then a cave pixie and a veil pixie. So unfortunately, we don't have pictures of what these all look like, but hopefully we will see them in the game and get a look at them then. Okay, and on to fishing. So there is new fish. There are sharks and float fish. So it does say that the fish in the Elderwood are more difficult to catch on average than fish in Bahari and Kilima. We advise players who want to catch the rarest ones to use Palium tools and every buff at their disposal. Okay, you really need to stock up on them. And there is also new accomplishments which we like to see, and oh my gosh, there is quite a few new fish here. Wow. Okay, so there is an ancient koi, an angelfish, a bronze bluegill, a devilfish, an Elleroo eel, I have no idea how to say that, Ini riven mermaid. What is that? It's a mermaid. Interesting. Okay, I can't wait to see what that looks like. A lake shark, which is probably the shark that we have been seeing in the pictures. Majori of War, a mythical floatfish that is said to attracted to areas associated with great strife. Interesting for a fish. Another shark called Moors. They definitely have taken some inspiration from Jaws there. A midnight floatfish. The floatfish emerges in the dark of night to feed on the nightmares of little children who don't eat their veggies. What is this description? Or so the old Umbran tale goes. Interesting, interesting. A mini mullet. Mullets are not my favorite kind of hairstyles, but we'll see. A mossy fin, a Palium beta, pixie floatfish. So there's another floatfish. Interesting. A saber-toothed anchovy, a starry bitterling, and that one sounds like it's going to come out at night. A tin fin, a toadstool floatfish. So is that one like a mushroom floatfish? Interesting. A turnpike and an Umbran beta. I never know how to say that. But yeah, these fish, someone had a lot of fun naming these, and you can definitely tell. And there is also some global adjustments to the fishing rates as well. So they have reworked how fishing catches works and are determined across the game, resulting in changes to all catch rates for fishing. These changes are systematic, meaning that there was no explicit goal to increase or decrease any item, but it would not be possible to match the previous catch rates. That said, that will result in more changes for players to catch hard to acquire fish in general. Most fish required for the Night Sky Temple bundles are more likely to appear. That's good. Makeshift chests are more likely to appear when not using bait and less likely to appear when you use worms and glowworms. That's huge. So if you are looking for makeshift chests, do not use bait to do it. When no bait is used, common fish will be more likely to appear and uncommon less likely. When using worms, common fish will be less likely to appear and uncommon fish will be more likely to appear. And when using glowworms, epic fish will be more likely to appear. Okay, so things have changed here greatly, so you need to bear that in mind when you go out fishing. There are some exceptions to the above, and some of these are known. So sushi recipes are more likely to appear. That's good. I know so many people still don't have that. And the storm ray, hypnotic moray, and the enchanted pupfish are less likely to appear. So that's about the fishing. Now we're on to garden and cooking. So who thought that it was going to be grapes? Because they are not grapes. We now have confirmation that they are butterfly beans, and these are a 2x2 crop. They can be found at the base of large trees around the Elderwood, and you'll occasionally be able to pick up the seeds. Again, this is another very interesting way to get your hands on some seeds. We haven't really seen this before. And we also have pumpkins, which yes, you can purchase them from Tamala's Potion Store. Very excited about to have potions, and players can also unlock the canned pumpkin recipe. And also the butterfly beans do have the canned beans as well, which is kind of cool. So that's what's going to happen when you put them in the preserve jars. And then it goes on about all of the new cooking recipes. Oh my gosh, there's so many here. Bean burgers, candy Cooper nuts, the Elderwood pie, flotato fries with ketchup, love that. Smoothie bowls, pumpkin pies, finally, yes. Imagine a starred pumpkin pie place down. So excited for that. So there's some chili. It also does tell you how to get these recipes. So if you're wondering how to get all of the new recipes, come look at the patch notes, and it's kind of here. Now we're on to one of the things I'm most excited for, and that is obviously furniture making and decor. So obviously they've gone over increasing the limit. We know about that. And this is the Umbran decor set. So this is the one that you find by getting the starter pack, and you can get this from Tish's furniture making store for 7,500 gold once the player is at furniture making level 8. This is gorgeous. I love this. This is beautiful. We did see this in the snapshot. I love the gazebos and the pergolas here. It's so pretty. There's also some rugs here, which I wonder if they will be from the nightstand. So we have a nightstand, a bed, a chair, a couch, low table, bookshelf. Oh my gosh, there's so much. A wreath, a log planter, the floor lamp. Oh my gosh, this goes on forever. Wall lights, sinks, pantries, there's so much. And then yes, there is 3 rugs, and these will be available from the black market. So that is absolutely huge. You can see how many items there are. And then we have the next one, which is the Elderwood decor set, which arguably looks a little bit more natural. And this is where we see these gorgeous like tree trunks and kind of mossy features. But let's see what items we have here. So we have the Elderwood armchair, the Elderwood couch, the end table, wardrobe, rugs, which actually it does say the mossy rug is found in the Elderwood as well. That's not from the black market. So everything here is found in the Elderwood. And then, no, they didn't. They finally did it. Oh my gosh. The grow all out gazebo. Oh my gosh. Okay. Right. So there is also these features. So the stable sign, we know how to get that. And then here you can also see the Ogipoo plush, all of the plushies here. So the plushies are obviously all obtained from dropping the relevant creature. There is an Ogipoo mounted trophy, a whack-a-pole trophy as well. You can mount the float fish and the moors, which is interesting. There's an Elderwood shadow box, an Elderwood map, a few shadow boxes, mermaid chair, mermaid lamps, and these are from completing one Majari's trash quest. Interesting. So there's quest furniture as well. So the grow all out gazebo, this is what I'm interested in. This will be done by a fit for a bee quest. Interesting. There is quite a few items that are learned through quests here, which is going to be very interesting. Eloise's moon dial, that sounds beautiful. Aristocrat mirror, a candle. Oh my gosh, there's so much here. Okay, so that I'm very excited for. Very excited for all of this. There's this harp here as well, and this giant tree thing. So this must be part of what the main quests are. Exciting. Okay, and then we have the map here as well. As you can see, these are going to be all the kind of main points of interest, I guess. And there is also a link or a list here below with all of the names. I'm not going to try and say them because I will butcher them, but it's very interesting. And then it also goes on about the early gameplay improvements. So this is kind of aside from the Elderwood. Obviously, there might be lots of new players coming with the PlayStation and Xbox. We hope so. So they have made some changes to that. So the main goals for these changes were to provide clearer guidance on how to play Palia. I think that's needed sometimes. A lot of the feedback that I've had from players is that it's very overwhelming and they don't know what to do, so that's good. And then they've made some changes here. If you are interested in these changes, then obviously you can come and read this and get a little bit more detail about that. Oh, hello. I wasn't expecting this. Makeup, hair, skin, and character creation. Get ready to level up your look with even more free makeup, skin tones, and hair options. Nice. Okay, so there is now lipstick in the game, which you can have 6 unique patterns, 17 That's a lot. Fresh colors to choose from, and there is a lot of different shades there. That's very interesting. A blush, so there is also blush, which looks to have some like scar details as well, which is pretty cool. Again, there's some different colors here as well, the different color palette. It also looks that you can like blush application, you can turn it up, and there's gloss as well, which is so cool. And then hair, switch up your look with 2 iconic long hairstyles and 15 new hairstyles. This, I think, is going to be one of the long hairstyles by the looks of it. That is something that everyone has asking for, longer hairstyles, so I'm glad that we have that. But that is not all. We have also added 7 new eyeliner colors, 10 new skin tones, and added the sliders to the makeup type. So that's good. And you can customize your character to your heart's content. That's so cool. I like that. There is also a new preset button, a random button that will select random makeup, and the skin tab has been renamed to makeup. So that's good. Oh, okay. So here we have some more improvements and adjustments. Furniture making 101 requirements have been reduced, and also like a bird requirements, I think that's the one which gives you the quest, has also been adjusted. So it's removed down the requirements for that. If you're an old player, that is not going to matter to you. And then we have the premium store. So the premium store has a new look. Oh, this is fancy. Players will notice that it's easier to find content, navigate the promotions tab, and discover new content. Yes, this was definitely needed. I love this new setup here. This is really nice. The way that you can display the outfit, that's so cool. The store will also list all of the collections and premium content in the starter pack and the founders pack. Okay, interesting. Okay, and we also have a starter pack. So this looks like a little bundle that they've kind of put together to celebrate the Elderwoods, and it includes 850 Palia coins, the affectionate Palcat pet, which looks to be a new pet. I've not seen that color yet, and the herbalist greenhouse outfit. Nice. The starter pack can only be purchased with real world currency, not Palia coins. The price of the starter pack is contingent on your region, but always be equal to a 425 Palia coin bundle. So that is a pretty good deal, I think. And then there is also the founders pack. Okay, this is a big one. So this contains a lot. So it contains 3,400 Palia coins, the honey bumble pet. Wait, no, that is so cute. Look at the little bumblebee pet. Okay, it will also cover founder courier pet slots 4, the Harvelia work sprout tender outfit, the local catch outfit. Oh my gosh, there's so much here. There's a good few outfits and some tool skins basically, but you can kind of see a snapshot here of everything that's included. So there is quite a lot, and that one again will be purchased with real world currency, not Palia coins. And then finally, they're telling us about the courier functionality. So this one is where pets can now whisk a handful of items straight to your home plot storage, freeing up backpack space without the trek back. Each send-off has a brief 10-minute cooldown, and you can expand the capacity to 8 slots total. 4 slots unlock with the founder pack, and another 4 will be unlocked through the Elderwood questline in patch 0.192. So not this one, but in the future one. We won't say more than that, no spoilers. Interesting. Okay, and then there is also 2 new outfits that have been added to the premium store, which are available immediately. This is stunning. Oh my gosh, I need this. Look at the flower on the shoulder. How gorgeous is that? I love that. This is the mythic pat bearer, and it has a hat, top and bottom. It's available for 2,750 Palia coins or 5,500 for the whole bundle. And then there is also this one, which is definitely more masculine, and it is the Rune Warrior, and this is a top and a bottom for 2,750 or 4,125 for the full set. It does look like this has some very funky kind of effects to it. They've called it some idle animations and fierce effects. That's pretty cool. There is also the new pet, and this is the Bumble. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. It's like a little queen bee, and that one's available for 1,275. There is also a new glider, which is available. This is the Order Watch glider there as well for 850 Palia coins. That's pretty damn cool. There is also a lot of bug fixes. It does say it's not a comprehensive list. There are obviously some good ones here, which like the underground black market, it did cause some crashes. There are some UI issues as well here. A special character message in the character nickname as well. So yeah, there is quite a few bug fixes. Hopefully the major ones that kind of you are experiencing have been fixed as well. There is also the top known issues, which I'm not going to go through. If you want to come and look at them, sometimes these things are not kind of how they kind of transpire in the game. So if you want to kind of know about this going into the game, then you can come and have a look at these too. So if all of those patch notes were not enough, we also have this mini dev blog, and this is talking about pets and the premium store. So if you don't know, the premium store in Palia has always revolved around cosmetic items. That is obviously very limiting, and over the past 2 years we have seen layoffs and things like that. We've also seen like a decrease in possibly the amount of patches whilst they work on the Elderwood expansion, and they have said that they are going to be experimenting with the premium shop, and they're going to be doing this using the courier pet functionality. So it looks like essentially what they're saying is they're going to try this out, see if it works, and if it does, then obviously maybe we will see more things like this which aren't solely outfits in the future. The courier pet functionality does to me seem like it isn't going to be something that is giving players an overall super clear like advantage. It is saying a little bit of time, so it's not like the end of the world. It also does say that there is going to be earnable pets, which is something that was kind of very controversial in the very beginning when they were giving away pets as part of like a paid thing in the shop. And coming in a future patch, which is patch 0.192, they will be able to learn the courier pet functionality as well. So you will be able to get a fully earnable pet and also the ability as well. You won't have to just pay real life money for it, but it does sound like you will be able to pay real life money to expand on it a bit further. But this is very interesting, and if it means that Palia can sustain itself and we can get more exciting kind of developments further down the line, I'm all for it. Oh my gosh, I can't believe that has taken so long. Those patch notes were really, really long. There is so much to take in here. I honestly, the furniture is absolutely stunning. I cannot wait for that. That is going to be absolutely gorgeous. Let me know what you're most excited for in the comments. I hope you enjoyed this deep dive, but I shall see you again soon with more Elderwood content. Very, very excited for this